Hey you guys, welcome to the Pottery Speak channel. I wanted to show you guys how to throw a utensil holder. So in this video, we're going to really talk about how to get the full base of a utensil holder. This video is also good if you are really challenging yourself to really get taller. This is a great way because the utensil holder is just a straight cylinder. So what we're really doing is we're building a base, but you want to go wider because obviously if you put a whole bunch of utensils in there, your dishware spoons, your cooking spoons, all of that, if you're putting that in there, you usually have quite a bit. A lot of people fill up drawers and a whole bunch of different spaces in there for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you guys how to open it wide, make it big, and make it tall. So it's quite literally just building a very large cylinder in this video. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoy and learn something new today.
All right, you guys, so first things first, we actually have to prep our clay. So you always want to wet the table before you start hitting this down. This is pugged right out of the pug mill. It is already de-aired, so I don't have to wedge it, but I do want to tap it down. So as I'm tapping, I tap and turn, and I'm really trying to create this bell-looking triangle kind of thing. That is very important. It helps with centering, so you guys don't have to really struggle with centering. So my wheel is already messy. I have been massively throwing today. We are doing a whole bunch of dinnerware sets, so we are going to get started. So I use bats at my studio. We are a community studio, so it is nice to take a tiny piece of clay like I have here, and I'm going to shove it on those pins and then put my bat down. That helps it so that bat does not get wobbly anymore. Solution is solved. It's a very easy fix. And now I put one tiny little dot of water on my bat, and I'm going to tap this down. You do not have to throw it. It does not have to be aggressive. And then we're going to get our hands wet, and we're going to start centering. If you are wanting to know more about the centering process, I have a video that is step-by-step on centering. We're not going to go into that today. We are just going to center this and get it going pretty quickly. So as you guys are watching, you guys can really see that my elbows are down. Pottery is that 3-point system. You guys will hear me say it a million times. So we have our hands are always together. They're always touching. Our elbows are down. We are always balanced. We do not want the clay to boss us around. We are the boss of the clay. So I'm taking the palm of my thumb here and the fingertips of my right hand. My left hand is pushing and my right hand is pulling. And remember, whenever we do these videos, it is actually backwards. So keep that in mind. So now I'm going to create my hockey puck, and I'm pushing the clay down with my left hand, or really it's my right hand. So my left hand is holding on to the side so we don't create that mushroom as my right hand pushes that clay all the way down. Once we get to here, my clay is kind of hard. As you guys can see, I'm kind of struggling with this guy. It was trying really hard to take over, but that's okay because we got it a little bit more wet and now it's fine. We're gonna check our thickness, so we're doing our opening hole, and we use our wooden pin tool, never a metal one, to check our thickness, and we want it about a finger's width. Now we're gonna open our pot by pulling it straight back towards us, not down. We're not pushing this down. We're pulling it straight back. And I'm building a utensil holder, so utensil holders have pretty wide bases. So this is going to be pretty big. And then I'm going to do my compressions. So going back and forth in the clay, making sure I have compressed properly. This is really just making sure that the bottom of my pot is even and we don't get S-cracks. I believe this is a very important step in every single pot that you make. Everybody has different views on this. This is just my own personal opinion on making sure that we don't get cracks on the bottom of on any of our pots. So now we're going to create our donut, which means my left hand my thumb is all the way at the bottom of the bat, and I am pushing that in as I'm regrouping the rim of my clay. So I'm regrouping that rim and I'm creating this little donut. Anytime we are throwing something tall, we always want to start with this process, and as we're pulling this up, we're going to be pulling up and in. every time we try to get something tall, you always want to use less water, and you want to make sure you're creating volcanoes as you're going. So pulling up and in constantly. Now we're going to create our actual poles, and every single pole as we're going, pulling that all the way to the top, stopping, regrouping our rim, getting the water out. And that is the same process the entire time until we get it to the height that we want. I'm using quite a lot of clay here. I believe this is about 4 pounds. So we can get this pretty tall. This should be about, I think I'm trying to go for about 8 to 9 inches tall, just depending on how big I want this utensil holder. And it shrinks 14%. So I like to keep that in mind when I make things. So I'm gonna turn some music on until we get to the shaping part so you guys can just watch. This is all just the throwing session of doing the poles. And as you guys can see, I am not pulling down ever. I'm always pulling right from with the weight at the bottom all the way to the top of the rim. All right, enjoy some music, and then we'll go into how to shape this. All right, so as I'm getting taller, it is going out a little bit. So I'm just gonna colander this in using a 3-point system with my thumb, the pad of my index finger, and my middle fingers. And as I'm doing that, I'm just pulling it in slightly. This will knock your walls to be a little bit uneven. As you can see, the rim of my pot is now wobbly. It can be solved just by doing another pull afterwards. If you leave it and you don't do another pull after, it's going to stay wobbly that entire time. But we just fixed it by doing that one simple pull. All right, and I am making it to my measurement. So I'm trying to go for that 8 inches tall. I like to generally know exactly like my goal while I'm making something, especially when I'm using a certain amount of weight. I like to make sure I am doing it correctly. So now I'm shaping. The inside of my finger is actually the one that is shaping this. The outside hand that's on a sponge is just making sure I don't push it over. So I'm pushing and kind of almost doing like a pull on the inside of my pot. And I like to use my hands first to get the general shape that I want, but then once I get the general shape that I want, I like to change it up a little bit. So I am going to eventually use my red rib, which is by Mud Tools, and it's my favorite. So let's grab that guy, show you guys the one that I use. I have to clean it first though, because as you guys can see, I'm kind of a mess. So it's that guy. It has, you know, a potter's name on it that is not mine, so don't judge me there. I got a lot of tools for free when I first started out pottery, and I still use them to this day as they never go bad unless you ruin them. So I'm using that tool on the inside of my pot, and I am shaping it out with my red rib. And then I'm gonna regroup that rim again, get the water out. And you guys, I got this new tool and I kind of wanted to show you, but as I was messing with it, it ended up not working out for this. It's like a new foot tool. Got it at the Archie Bray in Montana. Was really, really excited about it. And then I learned that it doesn't work for how I throw a lot of my pots. So I'm going to show you guys me trying to figure it out. But if you guys have a good idea for this, let me know, because I could not figure out how to do it without the foot being like bulky at the bottom. I don't know. I ended up giving up. So you guys can kind of see me messing with it because I really wanted it to work and I thought it would be really cool, but I'm a little picky and I didn't like the idea that it would be bulgy at the bottom when I already shaped this pot out. So if you guys can see, it's got that little like circle on the bottom. And I was trying to see if like a different angle would work, but honestly, It just was not my favorite. So I ended up saying no, cutting off the rest, and just cutting it off with the wire. But if you guys do have videos or pots that you've made with this tool, please share them. I would love to see them. I was having a hard time with it, so that tool is going to take another day or two to figure out. We're going to cut this off, and that is our utensil holder, and she is about, we're going to show you guys the measurements right here. All right, so as I clean this ruler, because everything in the studio is just a mess right now, I am going to show you guys exactly how tall we made this, and it looks like we are exactly at 8 inches, which was my goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful video, and you learned something from making this utensil holder with me.
Hey you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and I hope you guys learned something today. If you guys are looking to learn a whole bunch more, we are posting regularly on Mondays and Tuesdays. We're trying really hard to be good about that. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys want to see in the comments so we can start making videos that really cater towards you guys. And we hope you guys have a wonderful day, and feel free to check out our other videos on our page if you are trying to learn about pottery. All right, bye guys.